Alright, hello and welcome. This is going to be a Melvor Idol, a bit of a challenge mode for it. It'll be on the hardcore mode, so you have permadeath, you can only get up to 80 bank slots, and you have a lot harsher of combat modifiers for the combat triangle. This is also going to be a combat only account. So I will be doing no skilling. This account will be not allowed to get a single experience in any skill outside of combat. So it is a very different play style. It's a lot more active. You can't, until you get the Amulet of Looting and Auto Eat later on in the game, you can't really leave it to just idle. And you can't get any offline progress from combat at all, so you have to leave it running if you want to idle. So it is a much more active way of playing the game. I don't know who created this particular challenge, but I think it's a lot of fun. So that is what we will be doing in this series. I have another series which is just a normal standard account. That one will not be doing much combat until much later. And it'll be a lot easier on that account to get to end game content. But let's go ahead and start out. The first thing, so it starts us on wood cutting. We don't want to do that. We want to keep our nice 0 experience. First thing I'm going to do is go into settings and change quite a few things. So eventually we will get to dungeons, and I want it to be auto starting the dungeon again. Auto reuse potions, that's fine. We won't ever really have any potions. I do like having virtual levels on, which show levels past 99. I like having it set to 1,000,000 instead of 1,000K. And then I will have it start out automatically on the combat screen for this account when I log in. So first things first, when we get started, we are going to be training our attack, and we are going to go into our first combat area and fight a plant. Very simple, but this plant is very important. We will be spending a very large amount of time fighting this plant, because this plant has one very important drop, and that is a single potato, which is going to be pretty much our only source of food for quite a while. It will be, even after we have other sources of food, primarily we will have the Slayer coin basic resupply, which will give us 200 lobsters, which is very nice. But even after we have that, we will primarily be using potatoes for quite a while. And we'll just go ahead and equip this food. And now we can eat. But it does reset your attack speed when you eat manually, so you generally want to eat in between them dying. Now, important to combat only is every time you have the opportunity, always have a task running. It is completely free, and you can just spam through the tasks to make sure that you have one for what you're fighting. So we're just going to spam through until we find plants. So that way we're getting some Slayer experience, we're getting some Slayer coins, so we can start working towards that, the first thing we want to buy, which I will show you as soon as we can manage to spam through these and find a plant. And eventually, once we get our combat stats up, there are a lot of useful monsters to fight within these Slayer tasks, which will get us a lot of progress on this account. Hill Giants are great for prayer. Chickens are alright for prayer early on, because this is a little bit different than old school RuneScape, if that is what you're familiar with, in that you have to bury bones in order to get prayer points. You can stack up an infinite number of prayer points, but you have to be using prayers in order to gain prayer experience and level it up. I actually kind of like this a bit better. I think it's a lot more thematic, and there we go. We finally got plants. And so now we'll be killing 14 plants, and we'll be getting 2 Slayer coins from every time we kill one. So that will help out some. And with those Slayer coins, what we'll be working towards is the very first thing will be the Mirror Shield for 2,000 coins because it has 3 strength bonus and some alright defensive stats, and that'll be our best in slot shield for quite a while. We won't really be switching off of the Mirror Shield for a while. The 3 strength bonus is a nice little plus to have. And then after the Mirror Shield, we'll of course be getting basic resupplies over and over and over and over again for quite a while to stack up lobsters. And lobsters will be our primary food for doing things like the spider dungeon, which is how we'll get the amulet of looting later on. And we'll also want to work on gold for auto eat, so that way we can actually leave the game running for a while and fighting plants overnight, for example, to stack up some potatoes. But in the meantime, this is all there really is fighting potatoes super early on to get our stats up, and mainly we are looking to stack up a good supply of potatoes. So I will go ahead and pause the recording here, and I will be back once I get my stats up enough to take this account to the next step. All right, we have some basic stats. Started out, we're up to 5 attack, 5 defense, 4 strength, and we have 42 potatoes stacked up. So as you can probably guess from the Slayer task, we will be killing goblins next, which is why we needed the potatoes and some basic stats to survive. And the goblins drop one very important item, and that is the bronze battle axe, which will be our first weapon, because unlike in RuneScape, in this game your attack speed is ridiculously slow when you're using your fists compared to even just a bronze weapon. So getting that bronze battle axe will help quite a bit. Gotta make sure not to die fighting these goblins, but we will get our first weapon. And we also have 156 Slayer tokens so far from, or Slayer coins so far from doing the plants over and over again. And as you can see, it has a 35% chance to head up to a 23. So we need to make sure we stay up above 23 HP. We'll get some various trash loot as well, which we'll probably just sell. There isn't really any point in keeping the runes for later. It's going to be quite a while before we do magic. And we're going to go back to training defense now that we have the 5 in strength. Defense is pretty important in hardcore combat only, because we really want to take as little damage as possible from these early enemies, because our only real source of food early on is the potatoes, which only heal 10, and we don't want to have to spend literally all of our time doing nothing but fighting potatoes. So we definitely want to get that up as a priority. Attack is also important, since you can see we only have a 64% chance to hit against just a goblin. So we're going to want to get that up, and of course our max hit is only 27, so everything's important. But I would rate defense as most important early on. So hopefully we will fairly quickly get a bronze battle axe so that we can move on again. Otherwise it is just going to be this boring kill the goblins, stay alive, keep killing goblins. If we run out of food, go back to killing potatoes again until we can come back. Of course we get raw shrimp here, but in this challenge we cannot get any experience in any other skill, so we cannot cook those. So we are just kind of stuck here doing nothing but fighting this goblin and hoping to get lucky and get a drop. I kind of just wasted a few HP on one of those potatoes there, but oh well. I will bring you back after we get the bronze battle axe. See you then. All right, a brief update here. We are, as you can see, we do not have the bronze battle axe yet. Still looking for that. We've killed quite a few more potatoes to restock on our potatoes because we used them all. And we're still working on this goblin here. It can take quite a while to get to this first drop and make sure we stay alive while doing it. We are getting those base stats up slowly but surely though, which is very helpful. We bought a couple of more bank spots as well. Not that they serve a whole lot of use yet on this account mode, but it's nice to have the extra space once we start killing various things. We're eventually going to need quite a few spots once we start killing master farmers, because they will drop every single seed in the game. And we will be using those to sell them to eventually buy the auto eat. That will be after we have probably around base 40s before we get that far. But in the meantime, it is just the grind for that first weapon. And then we can finally move on. Well, actually, not really move on, just go back to killing plants, just doing it faster. Faster than before. And that's really all this game mode comes down to. Doing combat only is to kill plants faster and faster and faster. And eventually move up to some better food. We can take a look at it in a second. But if you go into the wetlands, you can see sweaty monsters drop all sorts of different food, and so do wet monsters. So we will eventually move up to killing those to get some better food than potatoes. But in the meantime, we have to contend ourselves with mere 10 HP food, which is not ideal because the HP is of course based more off of RS3 style than old school style. So we've got the 110 times more HP than level. So they are not ideal food-wise. But we are slowly getting a bit more accurate on hitting these goblins. They're getting a bit less accurate on hitting us, so this will speed up eventually. We're up to 413 Slayer points, almost a quarter of the way to uh, getting our first big upgrade, which will be the Mirror Shield. But that's it for this check-in. Hopefully the next time I check in, we will have the Bronze Battle Axe and possibly the Bronze Shield as well, just for a tiny little upgrade to our defenses. That would be ideal to get them both. So I will see you when I have more of an update. Hopefully it's not the all 10 base stat update. Hopefully we get that battle axe first. Alright, back again, killing more goblins still. Still no bronze battle axe. We're up to 10 all melees. We're going to start using some prayers because we've been getting these bones from killing the goblins. So we are going to start using prayer. It'll lower the chance for them to hit by a little bit. Yeah, 1%. And that'll help preserve these potatoes a little bit longer and start slowly leveling our prayer up. I have used it a little bit before now. You can see I'm at 36 experience. So slowly can start leveling up prayer as well. We're waiting for that bronze battle axe, very important, to get the faster attack speed. We have killed so far, I believe we can go to monsters and see. We've so far killed 48 goblins, 46 goblins, and 262 plants thus far. So still just starting out, up to 11 attack now. Looking to get that bronze battle axe so we can kill plants a bit faster and stack up some more potatoes. And then eventually we can start trying to kill some steel knights for full steel and some steel weapons. And that's where we will start being able to accelerate a little bit in our experience gains on this account. Or on this character, I should say. The account has multiple characters, of course. Alright, hopefully I will bring you back with the bronze battle axe acquired. See you then. Alright, back again. Literally the very next kill after I paused it there, we got the bronze battle axe. And if we look at the stats, you can see it is 0.9 seconds faster. So 9/10 of a second faster, but we also get the nice strength boost. It's going to be a bit worse for accuracy when we are stabbing, so when we're getting attack XP. But with the strength boost, it'll actually make up for that, so it'll still be all around better. So it's just unlike bronze weapons in old school, they are just in this game, a straight upgrade to using fists. So that helps. We'll sell our loot again from killing the goblins. We are up to 690 Slayer points. So we are just going to be going straight back to killing more plants and spamming tasks to get as many Slayer points as possible. The next big milestone will be the 2,000 Slayer points. We'll just be killing plants until then and slowly leveling our base stats. So you can see with the weapon we have a 91% chance to hit up to 35. So it is a bit better. You can see without it, we have a 90% chance to hit 32. So it is strictly better than just using our fists. So we will be using that, and of course the big upgrade is 3.1 seconds instead of 4 seconds, so we'll be going through these a bit faster. And then once we get some steel weapons, this will drop down with the steel sword or a steel scimitar, for example, to 2.4 seconds or 2.2 seconds with a dagger, which is very nice to get that extra speed. Eventually we'll be using daggers to kill these because we'll eventually be one-shotting them every single time we hit, and we'll have a 99% chance to hit, so it'll just be fastest to use a dagger and pile up potatoes. That'll be it for this first episode of this account. Hopefully there'll be a lot more to come. We are up to 2 prayer, 7 slayer, 11 attack, and 10 strength and defense. Slowly working on hoarding our potatoes again so that we can move on to killing steel knights in the future. If you like the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. You can check out the other video series, which is going to be about the normal account, which is started out on fishing. So you can see what else is in the game from from that series. This is the more active one. I'll probably have videos pretty regularly on this account, as there's a lot more happening, a lot more progress to be made rather than just idle fishing. So see you next time.